So Zachary Levi is getting a little bit of heat because of some comments that he said at the Fan Expo in Chicago, which I believe was this past weekend. A lot of big names there, actually. Marty McFly, Michael J. Fox was there with most of the cast from the movies. I thought that was pretty neat. I think he's doing the con circuits now, which I think is pretty cool. I'd like a chance to meet him, but I don't think he goes to a lot of cons, and you know, obviously that's because of his condition, but I think it's cool he's getting out again. But Zachary Levi, he's made some comments during a panel that he did. I don't know what it was on because he doesn't have anything out, but he's not allowed to promote anything anyway. I wonder how this is going to go over. He's already getting bad reception to this with certain people on Twitter, which I'm going to go over in a minute. But let me tell you what he had to say. So here's what's getting him into trouble. While voicing his support for the writers and actors strikes, Levi expressed his frustration with the industry as a whole. I personally feel like the amount of content that comes out of Hollywood that is garbage. They don't care enough to actually make it great for you guys. They don't, he said to enthusiastic applause. How many times do you watch a trailer and go, oh my God, this looks so cool. Then you go to the movie and it's like, this is what I get, he continued. They know that once you already bought the ticket and you're in the seat, they've got your money. And the only way for us to change any of it is to not go to the garbage. We have to actively not choose the garbage. It'll help. It'll help a lot. Yeah, it didn't do very well for Shazam, Fear of the Gods, but I have to be honest about that movie. I did eventually watch it when it finally came to home video. Didn't want to go to the movie theaters for this. But it wasn't that bad. It's mediocre. I wouldn't call the movie garbage. I would call it mediocre. I think what killed this movie, honestly, was the announcement of James Gunn's DCEU. Like, it came down to the point where there was just no reason to go see this movie other than maybe you really like Captain Marvel Shazam, because this is the real Captain Marvel. He had the name in the golden age, but that's a story for another time. It has an average user score over on Metacritic, which I trust a little bit more than Rotten Tomatoes. But even on Rotten Tomatoes, it's an 86 until you go to all audience, where it becomes a 77, which I think a 77% is fair. 3.9 out of 5, which is pretty much almost on par with the user score over here. I think that's a fair rate. It's a mediocre movie. I don't think it's garbage. It's just mediocre. So it gets a lot of heat that I think some of it is warranted, but what really killed his Shazam movie was the announcement of the James Gunn DCEU universe right when this was coming out, which made this movie irrelevant. Nobody went to see it because you told people it doesn't matter. So the rest of it is him talking about that movie, but the first part about not going and supporting garbage, 100% agree with him. The funny thing is, though, is when you go against the grain, you're considered a bigot and a alt-righter because you criticized Hollywood. This is how they've set it up. So if you criticize Hollywood, you're now anti-woke and a Trump supporter or something like that. So Master of the TDS, once again, doing a good job of capturing some of these garbage takes. He says, So he quotes what Zachary says here. I personally feel like the amount of content that comes out of Hollywood that is garbage, they don't care enough to actually make it great for you guys. How many times do you watch a trailer and go, oh my God, this looks so cool? Then you go see the movie and it's like, this is what I get. People are calling him out, saying many were quick to point out the hypocrisy of these words coming from Levi, whose more recent films have done more poorly at the box office and should be considered Hollywood garbage. He's only been in one recent film as far as I know, and that was Shazam. And I got to tell you, compared to most stuff that's come out, that movie is leagues above it. It's not that bad of a movie. It's not garbage. I've seen a lot of garbage this year. Notably, one of the biggest piles of shit out there like The Flash, which is an awful movie, is better than The Flash. It's also better than TMNT, Mutant Mayhem. It's also better than Little Mermaid, Indiana Jones. Those movies are garbage. This movie was entertaining. Like I said, I wouldn't call it a masterpiece, but it's entertaining enough. So some people took opportunity to bash the actor, calling him the N-word multiple times and saying the only work he will ever get now is from Daily Wire or Angel Studios. They also bring up his responses to the Koof cure and stuff like that. So they naturally want to cancel him because he doesn't like Hollywood trash, which is stupid. So here are some of the comments if you want to go over them. I'm not going to show all of them because, like I said, some of them are using the N-word and stuff, and can't show that on YouTube. But here's just a few of them. Like I said, it's just crazy how these people step up for Hollywood. Like Hollywood is some kind of savior. He's got a lot more. Bunch of stuff on here. It's just crazy. So now he's canceled for saying Hollywood makes trash, which is true. Hollywood makes a lot of trash. Anyway, that's pretty much it. Let me know what you guys think about all this. I'd like to hear from you. Also, if you would, please like, subscribe, share the video. Make sure you're still subscribed. Hit that notification bell. Check out my Rumble and Locals, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace. Make sure to check out my Locals. There's a link in the description. It's a fun community that I'm trying to build over here. If you don't want to support me on YouTube, you can come over here. None of that money goes to YouTube. You also can just come over here for free. But if you are a supporter over here, I do plan on doing an extra live stream once a month and throwing links to the supporters so you can actually come on and have a supporter live stream with me. Also, it's a good place to catch all of my content. You don't have to worry about notifications like YouTube. They'll definitely work over here. So come check out my Locals.